Okay, you know what? I am going to admit right up front, the title was very much satire. I was not being serious at all, but what I did want to talk about is the fact that I get called out repeatedly pretty much everywhere online because of my views on Bless Unleashed and Bless Online. In specific, I actually got called out just earlier today. On Reddit, they went ahead and made a Reddit thread titled "Why MMOBite Hate Bless Unleashed." And this is not the first time this has happened. This has happened plenty of times over the course of the last year. There was actually someone who made a thread over on Steam saying that I am, in essence, going to kill the game. Yeah, like my opinion on this one specific game is going to be solely responsible for the downfall of the entire title, the entire IP. No, that is just stupid. The reason I hate Bless Unleashed, the reason I genuinely want this game to fail is because A, the company behind the game at one point reached out to me and offered me thousands of dollars to try and trick you guys, to lie to you, to get you to go ahead and purchase Bless Online, Bless Unleashed. The fact that the game has scammed hundreds of thousands of players out of tens of millions of dollars, and the fact that the game just ultimately looks like a really cheap mobile game. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead here, take a few minutes of your guys' time if you're interested, and discuss all three of those points. Neowiz is not a developer nor a publisher we should be supporting, and Bless Unleashed, at least in my opinion, my single sole opinion, is a bad game. Now, let's go ahead here and first talk about why and how they attempted to pay me to get you guys to purchase the game. So, way back when Bless Online first came out, I talked quite positively about it. I had very positive experiences over in the Russian version of the game. I had positive experiences over in the Japanese version of the game. And I was of the impression that they were going to improve on that when they were going to release Bless Online over in North America and Europe. So I did positive videos on it. I hyped the game up. Now, after the game launched, I retracted those opinions, I turned them around, and I made videos that went into detail as to why I did not like the game and why players should ultimately avoid it. And evidently Neowiz were aware of those videos because further down the line, when they were developing Bless Unleashed, they went ahead and they reached out to me and they wanted to know if I would go ahead and do a sponsored video, a sponsored look at Bless Unleashed. Now, I'd never played Bless Unleashed at that time, but I did play quite a bit of Bless Online. So I let them know I'm going to give my honest opinion of Bless Unleashed. It'll be an unbiased opinion, of course, but I'm still going to give my complete honest opinion of it. And they were like, oh yeah, sure, no, that is perfectly fine. But I noticed you have a negative video posted on Bless Online. Now, it would be disingenuous of you as a content creator to go ahead and post a video, a positive video, because they were under the impression that I was going to do a positive video on Bless Unleashed. For whatever reason, they were under this weird illusion that I was going to be overcome with mass amounts of positivity for the game. And they said that, again, it would be disingenuous of me to do a positive video on Bless Unleashed when I have such negative videos on Bless Online posted. So if I want to move forward with that sponsored opportunity for Bless Unleashed, which was thousands of dollars, mind you, I have to first go ahead and remove the Bless Online videos. Now, what this means is that they're offering me money, a financial incentive here, to go ahead and remove honest thoughts and opinions and experiences I have in Bless Online, so I can go ahead here and do a positive video on Bless Unleashed. If I went ahead and accepted that and did dedicated sponsored videos on Bless Unleashed, is that honestly the kind of content creator that you would want to watch? Someone that would shill out and sell their morals just for a few $1,000s? Because I'm not that kind of person. I get plenty of sponsorship opportunities. Like, I will take the ones I want and I will disregard all the rest. So I told them I couldn't do that. I'm not gonna go ahead here and remove videos I've already done in a game that had my honest thoughts and honest opinions and go ahead and do a fake sponsored positive video trying to hype up the game and sell more copies of the founders packs that were being sold at the time. So my experience with the Neowiz company in general was sullied at that point. Like, I had very low expectations of pretty much anything they would do ever since they launched Bless Online, and it was such a failure and they'd scammed millions of dollars. But attempting to get me to lie to all of you was going even beyond the line that I thought they wouldn't cross. But that is just one instance of why I think Bless Unleashed and Neowiz, especially with regards to the PC version of the game. I'm not talking about the console versions of Bless Unleashed, which are published by Bandai Namco, but this is why I think the PC release, which is being published by Neowiz, is going to be garbage. Absolute and utter trash. Now, point number 2. Bless Online released a couple years ago. It released as a buy-to-play MMORPG, which meant that you were required to purchase the game to play it. And in my opinion, if you purchase a game and you get a few months out of it, then that is perfectly fine. I feel like at that point, you got your money's worth, and realistically, you shouldn't really complain. I mean, there are people that are going to, and that is within their right, but I wouldn't do it personally if I got a few months game time out of what I purchased. But I digress. They went ahead and they offered the game as a buy-to-play title. Now, they sold Founders Packs, which were initially priced at $200, which was exorbitantly priced. I was absolutely baffled at why they would charge $200 for a Founders Pack. And I know there were plenty of people that were willing to fork out that $200 for it. Now, granted, after the very negative reception of those Founders Packs, they did reduce it down to $150, and players were like, oh, that's amazing. Neowiz are actually listening to their players. They reduced the price for the maximum Founders Pack from $200 down to $150. That is incredible. We should totally support them now and all go ahead and purchase a $150 pack. And you know what? When it comes to Founders Packs, I don't really care. As long as they don't offer pay to win bonuses for people that pre-order or purchase the higher tier packs, I could care less how much money you guys want to spend. I mean, heck, Ashes of Creation is charging $500 for a Founders Pack to get into their alpha test. So you guys are more than willing to throw your money at that. And again, it's your money, so you do whatever you want to do with it. But shortly after the game released as a buy-to-play title, players started mass refunding the game because it was terrible. There were bugs in it, duplication bugs. There were just so many issues that were present in the Korean version of the game that should not have been present in the Western version of the game that they just did not fix. So there were thousands, tens of thousands of players that were all just mass refunding the game. And even after playing it for 5, 10, 15 hours, Steam was going ahead and refunding these players' games without question, even though typically if you've played the game for more than like 2 or 3 hours, you cannot refund it. But that's just due to the sheer number of people that actually did. Now, fast forward a few months, I made a video discussing Bless Online and how I thought it was going to go free to play because the players plummeted from, I think it was about 40, maybe 60,000 players concurrently online at launch down to less than 5,000, which was barren pretty much at that point. So I made a video titled Bless Online is going to go free to play. About a month or two later, Bless Online, and Neowiz specifically, announced that Bless Online was going free to play. Now, this is a game that people spent $50, $100, $150 on for their Founders Pack and purchased the game. This is a game that they actually had to purchase, spend money on, that is now going to go free to play. And these players that spent the money on the game were not reimbursed by any means. So after they had earned, and I use earned loosely here, after they had earned tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars off of their player base, they went ahead and they converted to a free-to-play business model. And then there were 30, 40, 50,000 players online concurrently all over again. This time, however, these players were spending money in the cash shop, and Neowiz were just raking in the cash. Now, fast forward later that year, I did a video, and I feel like maybe I am like the bringer of bad news here. So you know what? Maybe I can kill an MMO if I do a video saying it's going to die. But I did a video that went on to state that Bless Online is going to shut down because their numbers once again were plummeting. A few months later, Neowiz announced Bless Online was shutting down, which means you are not going to be capable of playing the game that you spent hundreds of dollars for anymore. How is that fair to those millions of players that were willing to support you? So they went ahead, they shut the game down, and then they used that money to develop Bless Unleashed under the subsidiary Round 8 Studios. Round 8 Studios are also the people that are responsible for the PC version of Bless Unleashed, which is coming out, I think it's on August 5th, August 6th. You know, the version of the game that I am apparently going to kill, and the version of the game that I apparently hate as much as I do. You know, at least according to social media and Reddit. But Bless Unleashed is not the only title they put that money into. They also invested that money into Bless Mobile, and Bless Mobile launched in, I think it was towards the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, and you know what? The game already shut down. That is how big a failure Bless Mobile was, and now they are porting Bless Unleashed over to PC. They are selling Founders Packs all over again, and there are people on the Bless Unleashed subreddit, the Bless Unleashed Steam page, that are ardently defending this game and investing so much money into it. I do not understand how at this point in this crazy repetitious cycle we have not learned better. And then my third point is the fact that when I played through Bless Unleashed, I played through probably about 25 hours of Bless Unleashed total. And when I played through it, the UI was absolutely garbage. The chat was garbage. There were so many bugs. Granted, there are going to be bugs because it is a beta. Although, you know, the game did go through beta test on consoles first, so these issues should have already been resolved before it had its PC beta. Its PC beta that lasted like months and months and had to get repeatedly delayed because of how inept the developers are. But the game, in my opinion, just looks like a mobile game, a really cheap, low quality, low budget mobile game. And I mean, if I want to play a mobile game, I'll go ahead, I'll boot up something like Genshin Impact or Honkai Impact or Punishing Great Raven or Guardian Tales or Exos Heroes. Literally, there are a handful of really amazing looking mobile games out there that all look better than Bless Unleashed does. So, do I hate Bless Unleashed? No, I do want Bless Unleashed to fail, purely for the reason that I want Neowiz to fail. I want them to stop scamming the tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of my fellow MMO gamers out of their hard-earned cash. I do not hate Bless Unleashed. I think Bless Unleashed is a bad game. I think that there are plenty of bad MMOs out there, but I do not hate them. I don't know why people think that I hate the game as much as I do, when the majority of the time I'm literally picking apart the developers, Neowiz, Round 8 Studio. I very rarely even address Bless Unleashed as a game.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna